Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday edition of Levack and Goz, July 13th. I have already survived the most harrowing experience of my week, I'm sure. I went to DMV in downtown Albany. Yeah. But I'm here because I'm a man. That's what men do. You know what I'm saying? That's what men do. Actually, they've cleaned it up a lot, man. It's a lot easier to do than it used to be. I can tell you that.
Downtown Albany is DMV, huh? I would do the Schenectady one, and I really rarely, if ever, had a complaint about the Schenectady DMV. Maybe I was just luckily timing it up. The DMV, you would think after all these decades of criticism of how they work, something would have changed. That seems to not be the case.
It's COVID. I'm going to say this. COVID did some good things for the world, and I think DMV procedure is one of the things that benefited from the COVID protocols. Because I scheduled an appointment. Now, I did not get in when I was supposed to, but I was only there like 20 minutes longer than normal instead of like doing this from the waiting room. You know what I mean? With like some little kid pulling on my shorts. So no, I've got I'm real ID compliant or enhanced or whatever the lesser of the two is. I did that one. And I found out my social security card's no good anymore because I'm old and they're like corners are worn off of it. So like I need to order a new social security card. I learned that today.
Well, ordering a new social security card, and also for those who are watching on the YouTube side, I'm going to ask Levack a question. Are you wearing my shirt?
No. This is Harbor Bay. Your shirt is folded somewhere. I don't know where the hell I put it.
I wouldn't have been mad. I was just startled. Like, is that the shirt I left at his house?
I would not wear your shirt. I would not. Maybe you know what? It probably would have been funny. If I did. See, I will tell you that when I put this on this morning, I'm like, is this what? And then I was like, no, this is Harbor Bay. Anybody who goes to DXL knows all fat men love Harbor Bay. It's a great brand with the 3XLT, so it covers the valet.
That looked like a Carhartt hoodie or a Carhartt T-shirt I left at your house. It is not the case. All right, let's get into the big five stories on this Monday, July 13th, 2026. Unfortunately, we're talking about a loss for the Albany Firebirds. They play the Nashville Cats over the weekend. They do not come out as they had hoped. We don't see the playoff scenario go in favor of the Firebirds. They lose that game 57-54. Levack, I'm going to send this in your direction, kind of an open-ended thing here. You were there on site. You were at MVP Arena. I was not, so you can offer a little bit more than I can. Take us through your overall thoughts of the game and everything that happened there inside MVP Arena.
It was a farce. It was a sham. Nashville's really freaking good this year. They got out to a 27-0 lead or some nonsense like that. It was every time I looked up, they were scoring again. And their kicker, Kaplan, this year, like, dude, he's a cheat code. Like, he's a legitimate cheat code. You've made this point before. It's not like you can go, all right, cover two or do some zone blitz or whatever. There's nothing you can do. The dude is just locked in. I was talking to Coach Cisse after the game, and he goes, you can't rattle him. I guess he has earbuds in during the game. Like, he's had full conversations with Coach Arbette to the point where everything he does is what is supposed to be done. But the rumor is that he's listening to music while he's out there, so he can't even hear the crowd. He is completely laser focused. He hit 4 deuces. The Snow Boys there, the ones from the World of Football, they messaged me. I saw it when I got home. They messaged me early, like in the game, like, Ware said no way he hit 6 deuces. He's already got 4. LOL. I'm like, well, he was right. He didn't hit 6. It was the kicking game is such a valuable part of this game. But all in all, just Gandy was really good. Tyler Kolka was great. There was this funny moment before the game, guys. I was walking through the locker room area, and I see Tyler, and I've only spoken to Tyler Kolka a handful of times. Obviously, our paths have crossed, but we don't work together. And Josh is getting water. Tyler Kolka's 6 to 10 feet away. And I go to Tyler. I'm like, hey, man, glad to see you. You're doing great as always. Appreciate you. Respect. Go easy on your little brother tonight. He looks over at Josh and goes, little brother has no idea what's coming for him. And speaking of, Josh has got him in. completely ignores his brother. Goes about his business. So those two, I if we're lucky enough that the Arena Crown it would be Clarksville now. If those two get to meet up again in the Arena Crown, that would be freaking phenomenal. I would buy tickets to that if I couldn't just request them.
The earplugs, the AirPods, whatever you want to say in the ears during an athletic event, they used to be an old outfielder thing in baseball because if you mostly left or right field, you get heckled by the opposing fans. I remember Carl Crawford, right? Yeah. Carl Crawford is always the one I would think of because you'd have to go to Yankee Stadium in Fenway so often.
And Crawford was a dick too, though. I mean,
yes, he was. Yeah, he was. Sometimes he'd turn around and let people know how he felt about him too. I also think about the movie Hardball, 2002, Keanu Reeves. Diane Lane, I believe, is in that film. My son, for some reason on Snapchat, loves the song Big Papa by Notorious B.I.G. The pitcher Miles, that's his whole character, right? Like, he is locked in because he's playing Big Papa. I hope the song Kaplan plays is Big Papa, like the movie. That's what I'm hoping.
I hope it's like Barbra Streisand. Like, I hope it's just something... I hope it's something stupid that none of us would ever, like, imagine he's listening to. We'll have to ask him when we actually see him.
Kaplan's a huge factor. You and I nailed this, and you and I were we were both texting during this game about how much special teams would play a factor. I was texting with Andrew Santillo as well. Like, we got it right? Like, special teams was a massive factor in this game. A 3-point difference in the game. You mentioned that the Cats got out early. It's always hard. It's a whole different game plan, right? Like football, whether it's indoor or out there. Once you're trailing, Coach Ware, I'm sure like any other coach at any other level, has a game plan laid out. But once you start going down, everything changes. And look, no disrespect to Kolka, Albany's Joshua Kolka, but whenever a team has a deficit to face, the defenses also change, all right? Like, you can put a little bit more pressure. You can sit in different coverages. You're going to get a whole different hand every single time you snap the football when you're trailing in comparison to having to lead. So, look, those things all played a massive factor in this game. Nashville might just be better, and it's hard to say they aren't when they've played 2 times now and they've won 2 times. They're really good. The preseason, last season, we all know how good this roster could be. Let's do the question that's the easiest one. How much, if at all, do you think the lack of Sam Castanova being there, played a factor in this game? I'll tell you my answer if you want me to go first on that.
You go first. I'll make expressions like I did before.
It feels like not much, right? Like, is there a play or two in particular you can pinpoint and say, well, if Sam was here, he would have done that? That's hard for me to sell. I can't tell. I've covered Sam Castanova, obviously far more than I've covered Joshua Kolka. So as a broadcaster of the games, I would lean towards some of those. Maybe the play he made where he made like that Mike Vick play earlier in the season. One play, I'm really struggling to say, like, if Sam did this, and this, they would have won the game. It's not that easy. It's not like a mobile quarterback that's running for 150 yards. It's not a quarterback that's throwing deep balls that only he can throw. There's not a huge physical advantage or physical trait in the game against Nashville. I said, gosh, if they had Castanova, they would have won that game. So to me, it's little, if anything, the difference of the quarterback in play between Kolka and Sam and the loss for Albany.
I think it'd be zero difference. I just screwed up in a bet. I'm so mad. I was just betting the home run derby real quick while you were talking because I saw some odds that I really wanted to get a part of. I don't think the only thing I think would have been different, and because don't forget, Josh ran in a beautiful touchdown. Like, he's got wheels. He doesn't run the way Sam runs. Sam is the more mobile of the two, but it's not night and day. I think the best part about what's happening right now is the future is now. Like, we've all known that Josh Kolka was going to be the quarterback of the future for the Firebirds. I don't. And before anybody, tell me more about what's going on with Sam. I have no freaking idea. I actually literally went to Coach Ware before the game, and I was just like, Josh ready? Because Josh has been ready. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't want to even know anything else. I don't care. Like, I just don't care. It is what it is. I don't get it. I don't know. And everyone's asking me, Like people like high-ranking people in the world of football that you wouldn't even expect to know or care are like, "What's going on? Where's not saying anything?" I'm like, because I don't think there's anything to say. I think this is just the way it's playing out. Sometimes it bees this way, yo. But I think if Josh Kolka had started all year, I think we win that game by 2 touchdowns, because he was so and you didn't see it. Like there was nothing he was doing that told me that he was geeked up. But his first couple of passes were like 4 rows deep. You know what I mean? So I think this is the biggest game. I'm going against my brother. Their father couldn't be there. There was something with his work where he didn't get to travel in. So like that was like, but they knew he was watching. Like I think the moment he was so gung ho to go that the only imperfections in what was a pretty perfect performance from Josh Kolka was that first drive for me. So, special teams, Tyler Kolka was dialed in. There was a lot of great things. No, we would have lost the game either way. The ball bounce is funny. It is what it is. He threw that net ball too. We haven't done that. Josh Kolka threw a net ball. And for those of you guys who don't know what that is, the slogan, "The ball never dies" for AF1 is real. So like, we don't punt. So what you do is you let your QB rear back, gun that bad boy. He threw that thing, 60 plus yards off the net. It bounces. Our guy catches it, touchdown. Like that takes footballs, if you know what I'm saying. So no, I have zero. I love the storyline for the rest of the year. If we can get Kolkamania, round 2 in the crown, like everything else can go away. I don't care. Everything else can go away.
Yes, the netball to that. Some team very soon, I think sooner rather than later, is going to use that as an offensive threat more often. Like they're going to try to revolutionize the game. They are. I think about cross sport here from the outdoor game. Some team somewhere in the future of football is going to just constantly lateral up the field. Like that will be their play. Like they're going to get 10 yards up the field and they're going to make like option plays. Reggie Bush tried that. Travis Kelce's tried that. Some team will try to revolutionize football with the lateral. Some team will try to make that not core, but a go-to play when run correctly to score points and change football in general. That's a hot take for you. Yeah.
Well, Dan Williams in Michigan, big body, tough receiver, goes up and gets that. He mosses people. Like that's Malik Henry's got that. I don't know what that came from. All of a sudden I went stereotypical Asian guy all of a sudden. Malik Henry has got such a big arm that's there. But no, listen, I love this. I love that guy. I love the team. It sucks that we lost, but I'm not gonna pretend I wasn't looking at how much flights to Clarksville are for the second weekend of August. I'm not gonna pretend I wasn't paying attention to that.
And now that world likely exists if Albany can win in their semifinal matchup, and how that bracket draws, because Albany will now be the 2 seed. They will draw the winner of the 3 versus 6, and that's still to be determined this weekend as the Firebirds regular seasons come to a close. And one other thing I want to add here, we talk about the Castronova, whether or not, how much, if at all, it played a factor in the loss for Albany. Don't dive into Reddit threads and Wikipedia. Just take this comparison for what it is. The movie 21, the Monty Hall problem, where you start changing scenarios and variables and opening doors. What I mean by that is Dwayne Brown also didn't play. Chambers played very well, right? Statistically, Chambers had a really nice game.
Chambers, Hall, DT had a touchdown.
If the question is, did Sam play a massive factor not being there? Not really. Did Dwayne Brown not being there play a massive factor? Okay, but if you combine it, then it's a factor, right? Because like if you told somebody 3 months ago in March or April, hey, the most important games of the season, you're not going to have Sam Castronova and Dwayne Brown. How do you think the Firebirds are going to play? I think the easy answer would be probably not as well as they thought they would play. That's the softest ease, but they're not there. Those are the 2 best players from last year.
But hold on, what I find funny about us, and when I say us, I mean Firebirds fans and the people who talk about the Firebirds and all that, we're so freaking spoiled. We're so spoiled. The arena football is a violent game. Last year, we had 19 people make it all the way through the year. That is unheard of. That's ridiculous. And let's not forget something. Let's not forget, for those of you who are like, guys, what you just said, there's actually, like, I'm going to say this. I don't mean this to be mean for once. There's something very silly about what you just said. Because guess who we started the season without? Those guys. They weren't here. You know what I mean? So that's why Coach went out and really doubled down on Darian Townsend, who, again, I feel like Darian Townsend should be the offensive player of the year. We always talk about Chambers has been great for us. Hall, there is probably nobody I enjoy watching run after the catch more than Hall. But game in, game out, practice in, practice out, team meals, the most consistently just leader guy you're ever going to meet in your life is Darian Townsend. DT is the freaking man. The thing I hated about him when I went against him is what I love about him now that we're on the same squad. The first time I ever met that dude, and I will tell this story, he's sick of hearing it. He's so sick of hearing it. We had an open tryout when I was part owner of the Columbus Lions in Georgia, Columbus, Georgia. This was put together while I was in Albany. So I was working with the squad that was putting it together. To my knowledge, it was me, the coaching staff that I had put together with the help of Mike Korda and everybody else, and a couple people from the front office. Players showed up uninvited to help run drills. Darian Townsend was the first person there. He was there before we were there. Our guys were putting cones out, and Darian Townsend was getting loose so that he could run the drills with the people who wanted to be wide receiver. That's who that dude is. And that's why, like, Isaiah Scott was back. Love that, man. That two-person game of Townsend down the field and Scott on those monster slant routes, and now Hall on the other side. If you're a defensive back, wear a diaper because you're going to piss yourself when you play the Firebirds.
They still have a chance to win the AF1 championship. They're still going to the postseason.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
They can. They will.
I'm saying, like, I would say even if you put odds on it right now, what are we? At worst, we're second. But I don't think it's a ton, right? So what would it be? Like, what would you make Nashville, like, plus 110 and Albany plus 135? Like,
I would probably make, probably that's probably right. I was going to probably say minus 130, but that's fine. They're the favorite, and Albany will be the second favorite, whatever you want. Yeah, that's probably the buy. The buy helps. But speaking of the buy, again, Albany is off this week. This is the conclusion of the AF1's regular season. The following week, so this is the weekend of the 25th, we'll call it, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5.
Correct.
The weekend of August 1st will be the top two seeds will face off of whoever won in the quarterfinal round in the semifinal round, and the Arena Crown will be the second weekend of August.
We would get the highest remaining seed. They would get the lowest remaining seed.
Thank you for that. That was going to be my question, because sometimes we see the NFL does that, college doesn't. We reseed after a round. So there we go. So we have that draw that is there. Also to note, that means there is another home game that is guaranteed for the Albany Firebirds. So date and time and all that's still TBD. I would be under the assumption, and maybe I could be wrong, if the favorites win, let's see the 3 and the 4 seed win, I would assume Albany's going to get the Vice game. And I just say that because
all games are Vice.
All games are Vice. Okay,
all playoff games are Vice. That's the only reason we can't fully announce when the game will be yet, because arena availability and Vice availability. So I would just, if I were a betting man with my DraftKings app open as we speak, I would keep my Saturday, August 1st, late afternoon open.
Okay. I know that bums out Andrew Santillo. He was like, maybe there's a chance they take one Vice game and we get the other. That's okay.
Well, here's the thing though. Like I am 100% on board and would love to have you guys there doing content, and I will see what I can do for you guys financially in that situation too. But like, even if you guys wanted to come and do like a watch along or something, because I think like you guys are a part of this. I think you should be there. And I know it's not as easy for you. You know, it used to be just hop on old Route 7 and you were there in a couple minutes.
Don't feel any guilt. I'll be on vacation. Don't feel any guilt.
Oh, so you're not gonna be there anyway. Oh, never mind then. And Santillo, hit me up. Well, you and I will do something. I can't call the game in any way, shape, or form. Coach has banned me.
That's right. That's right. So
rightfully so. Rightfully so.
I don't want to miss any fire
after what I did to this team.
Assuming that's how it might have gone, we did book the vacation that week. So,
by the way, big thanks to Dr. Fred Dreer and the Integrative Dental Sleep
great.
Spa. We got the rally towels. I saved you one, guys. So
thank you.
Give it to you.
Thank you. I'm going to see you tomorrow, by the way. We'll talk more about that before the show ends.
I
don't want to do a lot on this. We don't have to. I hope I'm not catching off guard here. I just think we should just say something about, I know there's some big interview tell-all coming later on somewhere in the digital space about the AF1 and the Kentucky Barrels. Do you want to say anything about it? Do you want me to say anything about it? I can go first if you want.
Let me tell you what the league is aware of things that have been going on. My understanding is it's being rectified. It's being dealt with. As a matter of fact, the suspended players are removed off suspension. So business just picked up. For everybody who thought Kentucky was going to be a walkover in the playoffs, I do not feel as though that will be the case. The Overstreet part is the part that's the weirdest to me, because Overstreet was released from the Barrels because he was getting an opportunity to go play for a CFL team, and it never panned out. So I don't know how that works, but because if they don't have Overstreet, they're not the same team. But if they have Darius Prince, Zeke Rose, Melvin Hollins, all those guys, they are. I would like, obviously, again, Nashville is your favorite. Albany is probably 1A, but then Kentucky slips into that third spot right there. Because I was going to say like Michigan has got to be the scariest team after those two. If Kentucky gets all those guys back, if all those guys have rectified, damn near killified, whatever the situation is 100%, then Kentucky becomes a very scary team in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's it. Like if we had talked Saturday or Sunday, you and I had a conversation, our response to this stuff would have been far different. It's Monday evening, Monday afternoon, depending on what your clock says, and a lot of the drama has been taken out of it. The guys have been reinstated. Kentucky's in the playoff picture.
There's always drama. That's all that. Yeah. That's how I spell arena. DRAMA.
It would have been a whole lot different if the team like didn't take the field or the turf for the final game, or the team was out of the playoffs. And you're talking. I don't think there's as much drama as people thought there was 24 to 48 hours ago, despite what people on social media want to say. And I'm not trying to take clicks away from anybody. The drama is not as hot as people want it to be. Let me put it like that. It's a little overblown here on Monday.
Well, and I think some of it comes down to, like there's, if you cite the sources, right? So you've always said that I'm very transparent. I try to be as transparent as I can be, but like when it's the exact same people saying the most negative stories all the time. And I'm not saying they're always wrong. I'm just saying there's three sides to every story, your side, my side, and the truth. These people's side is always the most negative possible side, like every freaking time. And like, it's just, those are the people, like, I just ask that instead of freaking out and DMing me and Goz or whoever else you can get a hold of and go, the sky is falling and this is what I had a very long and detailed conversation with Mike Corda this morning about some really bright, very cool things that are be going on for the AF1 in the future. I talked to Gary Compton, Jerry Kurz, Christy McEwen every day. I just saw Commissioner Fisher. He was here for the game. He's just awesome. Like, if you had told me after years of watching Jeff Fisher and some of the terrible things as a sports fan I used to say about him as a coach, that I would just and listen, I always respected him, but he was 7-9, 9-7, whatever. If you had told me how much I would just love being around that guy, I don't know if I would have believed you, but everything is good. The sky is not falling. It's AF1 year 2. So things are getting fixed. I think we have gone out of our way as a league to try to fix the things that we always thought were broken in the old school leagues. You know what I mean? And I think part of that opens you up for mistakes. Part of that opens you up for misinterpretations. Part of that opens you up for whatever. But the bottom line is every single freaking day, we are trying to get better, be better, and do more. And that's, and whatever ultimately comes out of whatever the hell just happened in Kentucky, I think you will see the league get better for it. And now that these guys are going to play, the playoffs are going to be so much more exciting.
Well said, especially those last two things. Playoffs are more exciting. The league's going to be good going forward. And if you are somebody who's just joined us recently, if you are welcome, Spotify, Apple, maybe you were a radio listener who's joined our digital side, do yourself a favor, whether it's Apple or Spotify, and up on the top of this thing, there's a little search bar, and you can search old episodes of the show. Just type in Jeff Fisher after maybe you finish this episode.
Oh my God.
The conversation we had in February of 2025 in New Orleans. Remember, people know him as a coach. Some, I think, younger people forget he was a player on the Bears and those legendary Chicago Bears Super Bowl run. I think it's nearly an hour-long conversation talking career, talking prepping as a coach. It's a really cool conversation. And I'm not just saying it's you and I. I think it's one of my favorite Radio Row conversations of anybody because it's everything you want as a football fan. How's it? It's a prep for a Super Bowl. As a player, as a coach, what do you do for AF1? So go back and listen to that if you get time throughout, if you're mowing your lawn or something.
And I don't know if you remember this. So he agreed to do it. I think I got a hold of him the week before we got out there, and he's like, yeah, this day. And then during the day, he had to keep moving the time around because he's a little busy. He's got a few things in his life going on between, the league and his businesses and all the things he does. So when we got right before we answered the phone, I looked at Goz. I'm like, bro, we got just read the room, probably get in 10 minutes, and then he's going to bail. I think you looked down at the clock 30 times going, is he still going? Should we stop? I'm like, no, he said he'd let us know. And I think we could have talked to him for 3 hours. I think we could have done the This Is Your Life with Jeff Fisher, and he would have been happy to do it. He's a good dude, man. I would say he's the best Jeff in AF1. I would.
I think he's definitely in the power rankings. By the way,
he's hour. Top three at worst. Top three at worst.
Forgot we're not in radio anymore. It's at half hour, commercial free. So back in the day, we squeezed in our commercials. So yes, shout out to Coach Fisher and all that stuff. All right, let's move on to what happened on Saturday night. It's UFC 329.
I felt so bad for you. Oh my God, you were so in. You were so in on this fight. I felt so bad for you.
I'll walk you through what my Saturday was. I committed to going to a 5-year-old's birthday party months ago. Did not like to try to Albany.
You committed. My schedule is, let me see if I can, let me call Bruce and see if I can pencil you in. He does my schedule. You committed.
I was there at that 5-year-old birthday party. Shout out to Henry. We had a great time.
Henry, Big Hank.
That's right. And then after, I'm going to my buddy's house in Syracuse. I'm going to go float around in his pool. We're having a boys' night, fight night. So I go out there, and it was funny because there's supposed to be 5 guys, ended up being 3 guys because everyone's like, I'm gassed. I was at a kid's. I was mowing the lawn. I'm like, you were all in your mid-30s, and I'm embarrassed for all of you. But anyways, I'm like, I got to watch this Gable Stevenson fight. Forgot it was on the prelims, not the undercard. He was incredible. The main card gets underway. King Green and McKinney put on an awesome fight. Oh, it's Patty the Body. Patty the Batty was awesome. And then the main event wasn't. An all-time letdown. I got a lot of theories here, Levack. For those who didn't see it, Conor McGregor, TKO in a minute because as the broadcast showed us, he did the super punch like he was Roman Reigns and landed awkwardly.
Well, it started with the kick. I think it was the kick. He did that flying kick, and when he landed, so here, you want a little reckless speculation?
Yes.
From Dr. Levack. When you do a lot of steroids, your muscles get really strong, but that doesn't do jack squat for your tendons and your bones. So we've now seen this man have 2 non-contact leg injuries that have ended fights. Put the syringe away, Connor. Put it away. I get it. I would like to look like I did when I was 25 as well. But put it away. If you've seen the new Roadhouse, that dude is juicing like a champ. Reckless speculation, all allegedly. For entertainment purposes only. That's what you have to say online. I've learned that.
I'm not ready to go that far that he might have been putting stuff in the system. He could have, he had to enter back into the testing protocol. He might have done something when he was out of the testing protocol, all that. I asked my wife to look at it. She is a physical therapist. I had her go in blind, and she wanted to make sure I said if I was going to use her stuff today that I haven't seen his knee physically. I would have a different take if I actually got to examine his knee and understood his history. But I gave her as little as I could about it. Just be like, watch these videos and tell me what you see. What she said to me was, isn't it his left knee? Because his left knee, he's overcompensating. He's putting more pressure on his left knee. And some people kind of know where I'm hitting at here. If you're overcompensating for one knee, it actually could injure the other knee. And she knows that because she had that happen to her. She overcompensated on one knee and tore her other ACL. So she's torn both. Her take was, if there's been kind of what you're hitting at here, if there was some significant damage to the other right knee, it may never have recovered correctly, whether it be because of what you said, whether because it's got a titanium rod in his leg. So eventually his right knee went because he'd been training differently on his left. I don't know what it was. Was he hurt before? Did he hide the injury? It's tough to hide injuries, but he's also Conor McGregor. Him taking his shoes off, people pointed to that looking weird. The whole thing sucked. It was awful. Like you and I have watched a ton of fights, both boxing and UFC. We've seen guys pull something, yank something, tear something. The one that makes this one feel a little different, it wasn't a tear and then down. My dad actually brought that up to me. He's like, Tommy boy, if he blew out his knee, he's not getting up. He can't walk on an ACL. You technically can.
You can,
but it's like
stability. Yeah.
I just don't know if his like adrenaline took over, and that's why it just sucked, man.
It depends. It depends how you do it, where you tear it, how much you tear. Do you take the other? Is it the Holy Trinity? Do you do the PCL, the MCL? Like we've watched and heard enough of this stuff that we can kind of, we can walk that walk that, well, he can't. But listen, I think two things that come out of this, the two storylines that meant the most. Well, actually, I'm sorry, three storylines that meant the most to me coming out of this fight. Because again, once I was apprehensive. I was not as excited as you were. I was not wagering on this fight. If I was betting on Holloway. The storyline number one, God bless Sophie Cunningham. God bless. I mean, she is the most beautiful, amazing human I've ever. I don't know anything about her as a person. I just know that no one is having more fun with their 15 plus minutes of fame than she is. She goes to Dana White and says, I want to be the ring girl. Okay, go ahead. Like that's what? Okay. Awesome. I love it. Love that. Two, God bless Max Holloway. He saw blood in the water, and instead of being a shark and doing real damage to a guy who tried to clown him in the weigh-in and says terrible stuff about everybody leading up to the fight, he refused to hurt him. He refused. So that right there, that speaks volumes to what kind of person he is. And then the third one, there's a theory out there that since Conor still has one UFC fight left, UFC will sell it to Zuffa Boxing, and we're getting McGregor Mayweather. We're getting another McGregor Mayweather. What about McGregor Jake Paul?
No.
Come on.
That actually,
right. McGregor is gonna fight one more time. Do you want to see it in the cage or the ring?
I want to see it in the octagon, but I guess I'm going to split hairs here. If you ask me, what do you think McGregor's last fight will be, or what do you think's the next fight, I actually would take Jake Paul to. I do. If you told me what do I think he's actually going to do next, that is the answer.
Well, Jake Paul's MVP though, so he can't. You know what I mean? Like
they'll figure something out. I don't know. Maybe that'll be the final thing. Maybe Dana's like,
I think he's going to fight Sophie Cunningham, and she's going to whoop his ass. And she's going to poke him right in the eye with that pointer finger.
So Sophie Cunningham's awesome, and I know you mentioned 15 seconds of fame. I feel like as an athlete, like she's going to do media. She's going to either be a WNBA voice. She could probably do other sports if she wants. She can be a personality. I know she does stuff for the USA Network now. She might stick around as social media influencer. She's going to be great. The Max Holloway thing. I feel bad for Max because he was being a good person, being a good fighter, but people also pointed at Max Holloway and are like, he was in on it. It was rigged. You're telling me a fighter doesn't beat the hell out of a guy when he's down? Why is he backing off? No, he's yelling out, like. I think he was a good person. Yeah.
Some guys don't do that. Don't live that life. Like dude, that Roadhouse movie. Like the whole If you haven't seen it yet, you're probably better off. Jake Gyllenhaal's character like hurts a dude, and that's why he becomes this like drifter. You know what I mean? Like I think there's a lot of you got to be able to put your brain in a special place to know that a dude was seriously injured and you injured him more, and I was just doing my job. Like you got to be able to like that's compartmentalization that I don't know if I can handle. So I mean, I would figure it out, but I mean, and literally it's on the TV right now while I'm watching McGregor, and he's done. You can see. I don't think he should ever be in the cage again.
And you know what? To the cage theory, if his name wasn't Conor McGregor, we could actually make this case of that guy would never get a main event fight with his name on it again because of what's happened now, right? He gets injured in the octagon. He got injured a second time in the octagon. Again, some would say not his fault. I think there's still some details to come of this one. He had a quick knockout involving the Aldo thing. He had a brawl start because of the Khabib thing he did. There are a lot of things surrounding McGregor that people find entertaining, me included. But if you're Dana White and you're putting on a main event show and you have people spend thousands of dollars for tickets, eventually you don't want to piss off the audience too much and be like, hey, you got to come. You can't build a whole show around somebody if something were to go wrong. Like, let's even play this scenario out, okay? Let's say McGregor was actually injured, okay? He was injured before the fight. If he had pulled out a week before, people would have been furious. So now they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. Like, and look, Amanda Nunes, this happened to her, right? Nunes couldn't make weight. She pulled out. The main event status of her got pulled back a little bit. Aldo, in the first time they were going to fight McGregor, I think that's July of 2016. So he got hurt in training. We've seen boxers get hurt all the time. Sometimes as a business marketing technique, you can't keep saying the great pumpkin showing up and then the great pumpkin never comes and people get ticked. Like McGregor's in that world now too because of this finish, unfortunately. Or maybe people are like, nope, if his name wasn't McGregor, he'd be in that world. I do want to see one more, but gosh, that sucked. Ugh.
Well, like I said, I would love to. There's a part of me that when you say that, I'm like, yeah, I want to see one more. But like, I didn't care about this one that much. Like, and it's amazing me because Conor McGregor, he's argued my favorite ever fight sport guy. Like he's argued like because the way he did everything, and then you know I was blessed enough to be able to talk to him at the Super Bowl in Arizona, and I remember like one of the cooler parts of that. Our friend Armin Williams, the co-host at the time, he had no love for MMA. He's like, it's just not I'm a football guy, I'm a baseball guy, I'm whatever. I don't like it. And when I saw that we were getting McGregor, and again, this was before the Aldo fight, I was like, you are about to have a new favorite athlete. Like I was like, bro, you. And by the end of that interview, he was just like, this is the coolest guy I ever freaking met. Like, I love this guy. Like, I'm a Conor McGregor fan. Like, he's that compelling. And I think one of the interesting things about him is he's not always mouthy McGregor. You know what I mean? Like everybody thinks that that's who he is all the time. No, he's a showman, he's a promoter, but he's a human. And when you get to see the human side and the showman and the promoter, you realize like, damn, this guy's like pro wrestling in the real world.
By the way, if you don't mind, send me that McGregor U photo. I'm going to use that as our thumbnail for this YouTube video. It's got to be somewhere. I'll dig for it after the show too. That'll be our thumbnail, so people get some extra clicks. Yeah,
you find my pictures better than I do. I don't. Maybe it's like an old man situation. I'm like, hey, it's on that. Is it in this window thing?
Hey, I
have a computer drive from a laptop that I took the drive out because the laptop got shattered. And I have that. Maybe my buddy Jared or something can pull all the pictures off of that. That's right, ladies. Those pictures are still out there. What? I'm sorry.
I'll go dig it after this. All right, we got two more here in the big single. Let's talk about Stefon Diggs here for a second. Steph Diggs is still yet to be signed. He's bounced around a few franchises recently. The Patriots. He was a part of that team that got to the Super Bowl last season, formerly the Buffalo Bills. He was a part of. Let's also remember that Steph Diggs did some time for the Houston Texans in a pretty good 2024 season. But there's some stuff off the field involving Diggs. He was found not guilty of assaulting a private chef in a pay dispute back in May. Diggs is 32 years old. He became that free agent in March. Now that some of that stuff off the field is going away, Diggs has said in a video posted last week to his own YouTube channel, quote, "My opinion, I can compete with anybody. But take those top wide receivers as your number ones, right? You can't name a number two wide receiver better than me." Is it time for the Jets, Giants, Bills, or someone else to pick up the phone and call Steph Diggs?
All right. So really, why isn't he somewhere yet? I think Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking me that
No,
question.
I didn't. If you have an answer, I'd love to hear because maybe it'll stop me from saying what I'm going to say. Maybe it was stupid.
I think it was a combination of two things. One, some of these teams are going to rookies now more, that they're looking at the draft and saying, I'll sign a veteran playmaking wide receiver as 1 and get a cheaper rookie at number 2. And probably price-wise, they're like, we just don't want to pay him. Or there's something else out there off the field that they're like, this isn't worth it. Because ability on the field, I think he's good.
Here's door number 3. Brandon Ayuk. Like guys like that. So Brandon Ayuk, like right now, he's technically a 49er. He's playing the games. He wants to go to the Commanders. If he doesn't go to the Commanders, don't the Commanders jump all over Steph Diggs? And if the 49ers can get rid of him, don't the 49ers jump all over Steph Diggs? And then like teams like the Colts, like, oh my God, like I'm pro Colts this year. Like put him in there too. Like there's not a lot of places he doesn't fit. The Raiders, like if the Raiders think they actually have a shot to compete for the postseason, why not go get a step? I know you got Jalen Naylor, and I think like I've seen him on a lot of lists like of people think he's going to have a breakout year because of him being like a legitimate number 1 kind of talent and finally getting that kind of respect. But like if you're a team that's close, like the Jets don't make sense to me. The Bills, would you want that reunion? How bad was that breakup? The Giants could be interesting. I mean, you already got OBJ. You know what? Why not? But I think for me, I'm going to go San Fran, Washington, Indianapolis. One of those 3 teams is where I think he ends up.
All pretty good choices there. You know, another team I didn't mention that Diggs played for, that he famously played for, is the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings would be interesting. Now, I know Jordan Addison has had his own off-the-field trouble. Austin Jefferson, their fantasy football managers who have sworn they'll never draft him again after his 25 performance when he was discussed as maybe the best player in the NFL.
Is that you?
I do. No, quiet over there about Justin Jefferson. I'm trying to get him in the second round in some leagues this year. I love me some JJ. And that's not JJ McCarthy. That's Justin Jefferson. Maybe clarify my JJ is from Minnesota. The Vikings are my breakout team there in our NFL preview show. So, no, I do think that he should sign with somebody. He's good enough to be on the field. He is good. Every team he's gone to got better. They did. Like we can run through them. Like they all got better. I thought a reunion might happen because Tank Dell, I don't know if he's ever going to come back from his injury. You'd think squads like the Chiefs. I'll throw Jacksonville out there because what's Travis Hunter going to be? Travis Hunter got hurt, but it feels like if you told most teams, hey, you went 13-4, won your division, and your number 1 draft pick didn't play, maybe they just say one side of the football and they reshift what he looks like. Yeah. For the Jets, Giants, and Bills, yeah, I don't think it makes sense. I don't. I think Buffalo made their focus for DJ Moore in the offseason. The Jets, it may not matter, and Garrett Wilson could be out there. And you mentioned the Giants. Yeah. So I think he's going to sign, though. Somebody's going to pick him up this season.
Oh, yeah. No, he's going to play. It's just – and that's the other thing, too. At his age, does he play this game and try to miss as much of, OTAs and everything else as he possibly can, show up for camp at the last possible minute? As long as he's in shape. I mean, it's not – the route trees are all the same. It's just a matter of getting him with a quarterback who – can tell him where he needs to be and how to get there. And then, oh my God, I just looked up the Aaron Donald stuff. I can't wait. I can't wait for Aaron Donald. I can't. I'm sorry. Aaron Donald. Let's go.
Is it done? Is it official?
No.
Okay.
He's working out of the Rams facility still, though. He's been there. So I think it's done.
Wait. Let me follow up. Are you talking about the helicopter where they flew around the field and it's an aerial view of Donald? Is that the footage you saw too?
There's that. No, there's also one that somebody's in the trees watching him walk across the field. Like people are watching and nobody's disputing he's there, but there isn't a decision yet on the return. So
I have a feeling Wednesday. I'm going to make a guess. Wednesday he announces. And I'm saying Wednesday because it's the slowest day in sports.
I was going to say, you think he wants that? You think he wants the attention? You think a Rams?
Yeah, I do. I think they do.
I don't know. I could see him dragging it out again because here's another guy who doesn't. You're not going to do anything he doesn't know what it is. Like Aaron Donald, eat. Like line up, go break the middle of the pocket. So Myles Garrett, how do you stop that front? There's a chance he starts off a little slow, just because you can work out as much as you want. That's not an NFL workout. But by week 3, 4, who do you pick your poison? Which one are you stopping? Which one of those guys are you stopping? It's so crazy. I love it. I'm excited about it.
They're so good. Go to our NFL preview show. We both picked the Rams. We'll see if anything changes the next 2 months. Tonight's the Home Run Derby. Philadelphia is the home for tonight's Home Run Derby. And for those who don't know this, a lot of changes to the Home Run Derby. One, the tradition has ended. It is not on ESPN tonight. Tonight's Home Run Derby will air on Netflix. So if you're looking forward to, you're yelling and screaming at your TV, it is on Netflix tonight. Rule changes. They're going, I'll call it an old school home run derby. Probably 10 plus years ago, we've seen this. Batters will now get 20 swings in the opening round, 15 swings in the second round, and 15 swings again in the final. What happened there? Finale, the final round. What happened there? They go French. If a player homers on his last swing, they just keep swinging until he stops hitting home runs, which is kind of cool. Levack, any thoughts on tonight's Home Run Derby? What do you make of the rule changes? Netflix, what can fans expect tonight? Do you have a pick for the Derby tonight?
Dude, 9-1. How do I not go with Ben Rice? 9-1 odds. Ben Rice, his dad is pitching to him. I think if it was the clock, it would be a bigger problem. But I know like everybody's like, dude, you can't do that. Like whatever. He's not going to throw it right. He was a pitcher. He was a college pitcher at Brown University. I'm going with Benny Rice. I'm going to go with the Yankee star.
All right, I'm going to give you my pick in a second. I want to add one other quick detail that's really important. So that round of 8, we'll call it, and then it moves to the semifinals where they'll be put into a bracket and seeded based on how many home runs they hit from the first round. Then it's head-to-head after that. So then you go head-to-head in the semis, head-to-head in the finals, and then you find out your winner. So I thought the timing thing was awesome. But I'm willing to see it. Like, there have been great home run derbies without the clock. I think of Hamilton in Yankee Stadium. We know McGuire, Sosa when he's smashing the ones in Milwaukee. Home run derby's awesome. So it should be a lot of fun tonight. I have a wild pick in tonight's home run derby. I want to take the slugger from the White Sox. You and I had a weird wager with him.
Only if you can say his name.
Murakami. Is it still Murakami? Did it change?
We'll go with it. The fact that you weren't saying it told me you couldn't.
No. I fired one off there. I'm sure after watching Benoit Saint Denis instead of Benoit Saint Denis, I'm very careful now with how I use some pronunciations for names. I'm going to go with Murakami as my American Syracusean accent will say that. Here's the reason why. One, I'm sure he's done home run derbies before and has some type of way in which he wants to do this. And two, we mentioned my son's friend. I went to his 5th birthday party. He's on his T-ball team. He hits just like him, and it's hysterical. Not my son, his kid, Henry, because what he'll do on T-ball is he'll take the huge Murakami step, like he's a dinosaur stomping, and then he'll crush the tee. And then he'll crush the tee again. And everyone's like, oh, man, this poor kid can't hit. And then the third one, he sends that ball into the parking lot. So just watching somebody who's clearly been watching him swing, he's going to hit some bombs tonight. So I kind of wish the big dumper was in it, though. Cal Raleigh not defending his title this season.
Ugh. I'm so over that guy. Screw that guy. Fat ass. No, Ben Rice, baby. Ben Rice. Ben Rice wins, I'm going to be thrilled. That's what I'm mad about. But at the beginning, I had a little bonus and all that stuff, so I was going to put $10 on him. And I accidentally put 1, so I got the bonus on 1, and then I got $9 at 9-1. So still be over $100 coming back to me if Ben Rice goes ahead and shocks the world and wins the home run derby. No love for Bryce Harper, the hometown kid, and Kyle Schwarber, the two old guys.
They've been there, done that. They've done their home run derbies before. Harper's had his moment in Washington. I don't think so. I think the crowd will be going nuts for him, but they've had their moment. By the way, speaking of the White Sox, how about the White Sox and the Rays in the MLB draft? Both in first place. Both had the number 1 and 2 pick in the draft because of the lottery and everything else. So those franchises are. I'll root for Ben Rice. I think Ben Rice will be a fun finale.
Don't forget the Yankees got Andy Pettit's kid too. So
they got him.
Some fun things going on.
8th, 9th round somewhere there. So it should be good tonight. Tomorrow, will I be with you at your house tomorrow? I will be in Albany. The month of meetings, I keep calling it. I have a road trip to the capital region, 2, tentatively 3 meetings, and then you and I might do the content in the afternoon, maybe an early release. or we might get so packed with meetings we might not do a show. I plan on doing a show tomorrow. I just don't know what time or when.
Let's see. I'm very busy, man. Very busy, man. I've got to talk to some people at 1, and I have to talk to people at 5. Aside from that, we can make something happen.
That sounds like an early release then, because if you got to talk to people at 1, I'm going to try to get back here in Central New York at 4. So look at that. I'll be at your house at 10:30 tomorrow. How about that? Or we'll get lunch first, or I'll be at your house at 12. I don't know.
Very early. 10 o'clock is very early. I'm very, very busy, man. I have many things to do. God of War doesn't play itself for the 4th time through, man. Come on now. What are you doing? All right. Well, it was good talking to you. It was good talking to you. Hopefully I didn't say anything to get myself in trouble for once. To all the people who are paying attention to stuff, we really appreciate it. But guys, I believe there's only one thing left to do, and that is for you to hit that frickin' button.